Hey guys, welcome to my first pickup video. The first part of this is going to be, hopefully I'll be able to edit it a little bit so you'll kind of know what's coming up, but just in case I am, I want to introduce it every time I go to pick stuff up. First thing is going to be kind of some miscellaneous stuff, whether it be comics, wrestling DVDs, music I picked up, something like that, DVDs, Blu-rays, stuff like that. If you want to skip past it, that's fine. If you're not interested in some of the other stuff besides the games that I picked up, that's perfectly fine with me. So let's get started. The first thing I picked up, we're going to go over some comics here. The first thing I picked up at my local comic shop, Cavalier Comics in Wise, Virginia. Very cool shop. Please go in there and talk to the owner and tell him Aaron sent you from YouTube. We'll see what happens. The Man Without Fear by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Very, very cool story. Essentially a father-son story. Basically Miller and Romita Jr. Basically kind of retells the origin, updates it a little bit for modern times without messing it up. Basically I'd probably say Murdoch's probably a kid in the 70s, I would think now, and then working into his late 20s or early 20s in the 80s and whatnot. So very, very cool. Of course, Daredevil's origin was from the 60s, so they kind of updated a little bit. Introduced Elektra in the story. Obviously, Miller had a huge run with her in the 80s. This one happened, I think, in either late 80s or late 80s or early 90s, I think. Very cool story. He doesn't dress up as Daredevil, I think, until the very end. So Murdoch kind of runs around in his ninja outfit for a while, which is pretty cool. I don't even know if he does, yeah, he does in the end show up as Daredevil as we love and know it. Very, very good. I'm a big Frank Miller fan. Even some of his stuff like All-Star Batman Robin I really enjoyed in that crazy kind of deranged way. Very cool. Definitely worth a pickup. First time I've ever read it. Got it for about half price, so I definitely picked it up. Just a very, very cool story. Definitely recommend it. The next one I got is, just picked this one up on a whim. This is Deadpool. Obviously has my favorite character ever in Mr. Spider-Man, Mr. Peter Parker. And Deadpool, probably one of my top 10 favorite characters of all time. Written by Daniel Way. Not a big fan of the Wolverine run, but this was pretty good. It has the origins of Hitmonkey in it, which a lot of people didn't really enjoy. I thought it was kind of silly. I thought it was pretty cool character overall. Just a cool, really fun. Of course, Deadpool was absolutely absurd in it. Which makes it even funnier in how Spider-Man kind of interacts with that. So, very, very cool story. I don't know about the rest of the series. I've heard decent things about it, but as far as this one, it's called Monkey Business. Pick it up. I think I got this for like $5 or something like that. Pretty cool story. If the rest of the series is like that, it's pretty cool. So, next up, I've got some wrestling DVDs I have picked up. First one I picked up from a local game store, which you'll hear me mention a lot, G2K Games in Norton. They have a couple other locations in Southwest Virginia and North Carolina, and Northeast Tennessee. Very cool guys. They don't jack up prices on their retro games. They're pretty. They're really good, and I've told them this. Their deals are really good. There's a couple stores that really just jack the prices up. I've seen stuff at G2K complete go for half of what they're selling it in just a cartridge in some places. So some very, very, very good prices. And I pick up a lot of retro games there for some pretty good prices. I also picked up box sets DVDs for wrestling. I really got into the box sets that WB releases. The first one I got is the Royal Rumble. This is the first volume of the anthology. This is covers from 88 to 92. So from the first one to which Jim Duggan won, to the 92 one, the classic Ric Flair starting at number 3. Bobby Heenan is great in that match and through the whole thing. Him and Gorilla Monsoon, probably one of the best ones out there for all time. Greatest wrestling commentator in general of all time. So really cool to see kind of how these things progress. They're not huge pay-per-views at this point. At that point, I think there's only 4 pay-per-views going on WWE or WWF at the time. Not a lot of main event matches. You'll see some really good tag matches. I think it was in the, I want to say 91 possibly. It might have been in 92. The Rockers and Orient Express was an extremely great match. I really enjoyed that tag team match. Just a classic, kind of like a clinic in what a tag team match is supposed to be. Very cool. Finished it up about 2 weeks ago. Just a cool little thing. Definitely worth a pickup. I can't wait to get the rest of the volumes. Next one, picked this up the other day. Obviously, it's no chronological order. I got the Hell in a Cell box set. Again, got this for about $5. Um, Complete, has the little booklet thing in there also. Of course, the most famous and probably the best Hell in a Cell match, Mankind versus Undertaker. Very, very cool box set. Haven't started watching it yet. All these matches I have not seen, especially some of the non-Attitude Era stuff. So definitely glad to kind of get in there and dig into this. Pretty good price, so we'll see how it is. And then finally, big CM Punk fan. Followed him in ROH, a lot of in the Indies. Always thought that he deserved better in WWE, and now he is the WWE champion, going on a year, a little bit over a year at the time of this video. Picked up his DVD, CM Punk Best in the World 3-disc set. Has a lot of his matches on WWE from the beginning to, I believe, the WrestleMania match with Chris Jericho, which was also a classic. Very cool DVD, shot in a very different way. Punk has said in a lot of interviews that he wanted to do it his way and not let the WWE do some corporate, just some corporate-made package of a DVD. This one is really cool. Shot like almost like an indie documentary type way. Talks about music, the Cubs, comic books, everything that he enjoys in life, and also wrestling in his career. Paul Heyman's in this. There's some ROH footage in this, so some very, very cool stuff with this DVD. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think it's something you need to watch. I think it's just very well shot. He did a great job of putting this together with Paul and with Paul Lee there. So definitely recommend it. If you're a Punk fan, obviously you probably already got it. If you're a wrestling fan, you probably already got it. But if you're not a wrestling fan, please pick this up and take a watch. It's just a good DVD in general. And let's see, I got one more DVD here. Got this at a Goodwill. It's the Tooth and Nail Videography, 93 to 99. Got this for about 97 cents. I'm a big Tooth and Nail fan, big Solid State fan. Just a lot of the bands that is on there I really, really like. It's questionable now. There's still some great bands on there, but a lot of them went kind of the independent route. But this one is a lot of early 90s stuff, late 90s stuff. MXPX, LC Supertones, Plank Eye, of course, Project A6, one of my favorite bands of all time. Haven't stuck it in yet. Haven't watched it. There's probably going to be me and a buddy's probably going to sit down and watch this, to be quite honest. And so, because we talk about music all the time, so we'll probably sit down and watch this. But 97 cents, I couldn't pass it up. That's it for the geek, for kind of the geek miscellaneous stuff. Like I said, if you want to skip by it, you can. Will come up. I believe the next one up is some next gen stuff. So be set up for that, and we'll get to it.